Welcome, Explicados. Today, we're diving into the life and work of a truly extraordinary kid from a gritty industrial town who, well, completely redefined what global stardom even looks like. This explainer is all about a figure who took the very idea of a pop star and flipped it on its head. He brought together voice, dance, and breathtaking visual spectacle into one total immersive experience. But, beneath all those dazzling lights, this is also the story of an incredibly complex life, one lived almost entirely in the public eye, filled with immense pressure, profound isolation, and an absolutely unparalleled legacy.
So let's trace this incredible evolution, right? We're going from his childhood breakout back in 1969, rolling through the iconic eras of Off the Wall, Thriller, Bad, and Dangerous, all the way to his final preparations in 2009. Each one of these eras built up this staggering, unprecedented legacy of music, dance, and cinematic spectacle that literally altered popular culture forever.
Okay, let's dive into this. Section 1, The Child Prodigy, from Gary to Motown.
Our story actually kicks off on August 29, 1958, right in the industrial heart of Gary, Indiana. That's where young Michael's profound natural talent births the Jackson 5. And wow, by 1969, the whole phenomenon just exploded over at Motown. The group dropped 4 consecutive singles that shot straight to #1 in the US. And Michael, he was the undeniable center of gravity. I mean, he sang with this staggering power and danced with just supernatural precision. But we have to remember, this phenomenal success demanded a grueling schedule of rehearsing, recording, and touring nonstop. So while other kids his age were, going to school and just playing, he was working relentlessly. It was a level of dedication that ultimately cost him a normal childhood.
Moving on to Section 2, Finding His Own Voice.
Now, as he's transitioning out of being the child star who sang heartwarming tracks like Ben, a pivotal meeting happens. He meets the visionary producer Quincy Jones on a film set, and that creative connection changed absolutely everything. The result? The 1979 masterpiece, Off the Wall. This album elegantly blended disco, funk, soul, and pop into this sophisticated, luminous sound that officially cemented his new adult identity. He definitely wasn't just the kid from the Jackson 5 anymore. He was a dynamic solo artist. Yet even with massive hits like Don't Stop Till You Get Enough, he was relentlessly driven. He didn't just want a hit record, no. He wanted to create something so colossal that it would be physically impossible for the world to ignore.
Let's move on and see how this builds straight into Section 3, the global phenomenon.
On November 30th, 1982, Thriller was unleashed on the world. And honestly, it wasn't just an album. It was a complete cultural earthquake. It blended rock energy, R&B grooves, and pop melodies into a universally undeniable sound. But here's the thing, the music was only half of the equation. He completely revolutionized the very concept of the music video. He transformed them from these standard, boring promotional clips into high-budget cinematic short films. We're talking actual plots, elaborate costumes, special effects, and groundbreaking choreography. He shattered the racial barriers of MPV, and the cinematic brilliance of the Thriller short film was so profound that it eventually became the very first music video to be inducted into the National Film Registry. How incredible is that?
But the visual spectacle didn't just stay on the screen, it translated to the live stage in ways people had literally never seen before. Picture this. It's the iconic 1983 Motown 25 television special. While performing Billie Jean, he debuts a move that simply defies logic. The body moved forward, but the feet glided effortlessly backward. Now, he didn't invent the moonwalk, but on that specific night, he globally popularized it. It spread like wildfire, turning into his ultimate signature symbol and leaving millions of viewers completely mesmerized. This era marked a commercial peak that is, quite frankly, unmatched. At the 1984 Grammy Awards, at just 25 years old, he swept an absolutely staggering 8 awards in a single night. 8. He had reached a mountainous height that no other artist could easily replicate, setting an entirely new benchmark for what global success actually looked like.
So the crucial point is, how do you possibly follow up the biggest album in history? Well, you evolve. When we compare Thriller to his 1987 follow-up, Bad, we see a massive cinematic leap. he transitioned from the fantasy and horror elements of Thriller into these defiant, aggressive, global stadium spectacles. During the Bad World Tour, he perfected the live concert experience. I mean, he understood the power of pacing so incredibly well that he could stand entirely motionless on stage in absolute silence for minutes at a time. He just let the suspense build and build until the crowd erupted, all before he even sang a single note.
Which brings us to Section 4, Music with a Message. As we move into the 1990s, his music started to reflect a much deeper social consciousness, but also, and you can really feel this, the oppressive weight of his unparalleled fame. Albums like Dangerous in 1991 and History in 1995 perfectly showcased this shift. He blended this rhythmic, hard-hitting New Jack Swing sound with really urgent, passionate messages. He sang about racial harmony in Black or White, he pleaded for environmentalism in Earth Song, and he fiercely pushed back against media exploitation. The stage wasn't just for entertainment anymore, you know? It became a platform to fight for humanitarian causes and to express his own internal, deeply personal battles with the media. And this brilliantly illustrates his true genius. What made him so utterly unique wasn't just having one specific talent, but his ability to fuse distinct disciplines into a total, immersive pop experience. Think about it. His voice acted as a rhythm instrument. His songwriting crossed every genre boundary imaginable. His dancing physically embodied the music. His videos were major cinematic events, and his live shows, unmatched spectacles. He combined all of these elements to create the definitive formula for global pop. This meticulous fusion built a lasting musical DNA. He essentially drew the blueprint for the modern male pop star. If you look closely at the landscape of modern music today, think about your favorite artist right now. His influence is literally everywhere, from pop and R&B to rock, hip-hop, electronic music, and of course the massive industry of K-pop. Countless artists have inherited his dedication to narrative music videos, razor-sharp choreography, and that intense obsession with every single detail of the performance. Now we enter Section 5, the price of fame. The very same fame that turned him into a global icon also in many ways imprisoned him. And we need to be incredibly sober and respectful when addressing his adult life. He lived under a constant, unforgiving microscope where his appearance, his relationships, and his behavior were endlessly scrutinized. Now, what's really important to understand here is how a major source of public fixation was his changing appearance. He explained that he suffered from vitiligo, which is a condition that destroys the skin's pigment cells, causing dramatic changes over time. But rather than understanding, this medical reality fueled relentless, sensationalized media rumors, making his private life a constant subject of public debate. Beyond the rumors regarding his appearance, his life was also marked by severe allegations, which he consistently denied. It is a matter of historical record that in 2005 he faced a highly publicized criminal trial. Following a rigorous legal process, he was found not guilty on all charges. In telling his story honestly and comprehensively, it's absolutely necessary to impartially report these facts without sensationalism, while acknowledging the heavy toll these public battles took on his life and career. This brings us to our final section, Section 6, An Everlasting Legacy. In 2009, he announced a monumental comeback residency in London titled This Is It. Rehearsal footage showed a true master, meticulously crafting his final show down to the very last detail. But tragically, the world never got to see that final curtain rise. On June 25, 2009, just weeks before the tour was set to begin, he suddenly passed away in Los Angeles. The news literally brought the globe to an absolute standstill, triggering a massive, unprecedented wave of mourning. The subsequent release of the This Is It documentary offered a bittersweet farewell, allowing the world one last intimate glimpse of a brilliant artist at work. His monumental artistic achievements remain historically unmatched. I mean, he was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame not once, but twice. First as a member of the Jackson 5, and then again as a solo artist. And across his remarkable career, he accumulated an incredible 13 Grammy Awards, cementing a legacy that was built on raw talent, relentless discipline, and just boundless ambition. Ultimately, his profound legacy ensured that music wasn't just something you heard on a record, it was something you could vividly see and feel. He left behind a blueprint of creativity that continues to echo across stages worldwide. It really makes you wonder, will we ever see a singular artist unite the globe quite like that again? Remember, everything is explained here. See you in the next video.